Have you ever wondered why your French Bulldog seems to talk without making a single real word? Many people call Frenchies dramatic, but most of what looks funny is actually careful communication. This breed uses body pressure, timing, breathing, and tiny facial shifts more than long, obvious gestures. When you miss those small signals, your dog may seem stubborn, needy, or strangely clingy. But once you read the pattern, you start hearing 10 clear messages hidden in daily moments. First, when your Frenchie stares at you across the room, it is often checking your emotional weather.
Of course.
That steady look is not always a demand, because sometimes the body stays still just to measure your mood. If the eyes soften and the face relaxes, your dog is usually asking, "Are we safe together right now?" If the stare appears near the food shelf or leash, the same gaze becomes a polite request with context. A quick look away after eye contact can also be respectful, not distant, because pressure matters to dogs. So the stare is often less about intensity and more about tuning their inner rhythm to yours. Second, when your French Bulldog leans against your leg, that weight is often a living sentence. This breed loves firm body contact because touch can calm the nervous system faster than distance can. A shoulder press during a noisy moment often means I feel steadier when I can borrow your calm. A slow body slide onto your foot can also be a quiet claim of belonging, not simple laziness. If the lean grows heavier when strangers or sudden sounds appear, your dog is using you as an anchor in that moment. As closeness is not clinginess, it is communication through shared balance. Third, a paw on your knee is rarely random,
moment, okay?
especially when it arrives with stillness instead of chaos.
Good boy.
That gentle
I
touch
see you.
often means your dog wants a response, but is trying not to escalate too fast. One paw tap may ask for attention, while repeated tapping often means the first
Okay, little
signal
guy,
was
what do you
missed.
need?
When the paw appears during your screen time, your Frenchie may be saying your focus has drifted too far. If the face stays soft, the message is connection, not control, because the touch is inviting, not pushing. In dog language, a paw can work like a quiet knock on the emotional door. Fourth, those famous little grunts, snorts, and sighs are not always random breed noise. French Bulldogs often layer sound onto posture, a turning breath into a small emotional caption. A long sigh after circling beside you can mean relief, because the body has finally settled near safety. A short grumble when you
I
stop
would love
petting
to
may be
play.
frustration,
Thank
but
you.
it can also be a request to continue. Listen to when the sound happens, because timing tells you whether the feeling is comfort, stress, or protest. With Frenchies, the voice is often in the
Hello,
breathing
little
pattern
friend. Did you
long
miss me?
before it becomes barking.
Whimper.
Fifth, when your dog brings you a toy, the real message is not always, "Throw this right now." Sometimes the toy is a peace offering, a social bridge, or a way to start contact safely. If your Frenchie drops the toy and simply watches you, the invitation may matter more than the game. Carrying a toy while greeting you can also help manage excitement by giving the mouth a job. And in that case, the object becomes emotional equipment, not just entertainment. What looks like play is often your dog's smartest way of saying, "Let us connect without pressure." Sixth, when your French Bulldog follows you from room to room, it is not always dependency. This breed often tracks movement to keep the social map of the home updated. Waiting outside a door can mean your dog is respecting the barrier while still preserving connection. A Frenchie who settles in the hallway is saying, "I do not need access to feel close." If the following becomes tighter on stressful days, your dog may be checking whether your rhythm has changed. To them, your
Oh,
path
hey
through the
there.
house is
Who's happy to see
information,
me?
and staying near helps the world make sense. Seventh, those fast circles and bouncing steps when you return home are full
Oh,
of
I
meaning.
missed you so
And
much.
excitement is part of it, but the deeper message is release after
I
holding
missed you
social
too.
tension during separation. Your Frenchie is not just celebrating your arrival, but resetting the bond in real time. A toy grab, body wiggle, or tight loop near your feet can all be ways to discharge emotion safely. The movement says, "You are back, the pattern is restored, and my body can let go now." What looks chaotic from the outside is often a very organized reunion ritual inside the dog. Eighth, your French Bulldog's ears and face can change the message before the body even moves. Ears slightly forward often show focused curiosity, especially when paired with a still chest and quiet paws. Ears easing sideways with softer eyes can signal uncertainty, as if your dog is reading mixed information. A tight mouth or hard blink during touch may be a polite request for less intensity. Because Frenchies have expressive faces, people sometimes miss the subtle signs hiding beneath the cute look. The face is not decoration, it is one of the clearest translation tools your dog has. Ninth, licking your hand or nudging you with the nose is often more than affection. A quick lick can reduce tension after confusion, almost like smoothing the air between you. A nose nudge at your elbow may mean your dog wants movement, guidance, or a clearer answer. Repeat nudging near feeding time or walk time usually mixes routine memory with hopeful communication. But a single soft nudge during your sadness can also be your Frenchie responding to a change in energy. Yes, these tiny touches are often your dog's way of reopening connection without using force. 10th, where your French Bulldog chooses to rest is one of the deepest messages of all. Sleeping with the back turned but the body close often shows trust, because guarding every angle no longer feels necessary. Resting in the doorway may look uncomfortable, yet many dogs choose that spot to monitor both you and space. Curling beside your chair instead of on your lap can mean, I want closeness, but I also want control. The chosen sleeping place reveals how your dog balances attachment, vigilance, comfort, and habit. When a Frenchie repeatedly rests near your path, it is often building security through predictable proximity. None of these signals should be read alone, because dogs speak in clusters, not isolated gestures. As a stare with a lean means something different from a stare with a stiff mouth and frozen paws. The real skill is not memorizing tricks, but noticing timing, context, and emotional softness. Once you start reading these patterns, your French Bulldog seems less dramatic and far more honest. And maybe that is the
I'm
sweetest
here
part.
now,
Your dog
little
has been
one.
talking to you all along, just in a quieter language.
You're the best.